Hello, this is Catherine's Low Income Prepping, episode 2. And I want to start out today by talking about some things that have been going on. One of the things that people have been talking about is that September 24th was going to be some type of doomsday. Well, it's now the 25th, and everything's okay. So I guess they were wrong as usual. People always come up with this thing where they say that this is going to happen or that's going to happen. But they're always wrong. Okay, so living day to day, it was kind of a little bit of a doomsday for the people in Puerto Rico. As you know, Fiona went through Puerto Rico, and hopefully there's a lot of preppers there that they took so they can take care of themselves. Of course, there's a lot of poor people there. It's one of the poorest places that is a territory of the United States. I think they should make it a state and make them have the same things that we do here. So that way they're taken care of the same way everyone here is taken care of. But, that might take away some money from the congressmen and the senators, and they don't want to lose any money. And that's a good segue into what I want to talk about right now. First of all, there was an article a couple of days ago about people in the military getting on food stamps. That is so wrong. Having been in the Army, being on food stamps when you're in the Army is wrong. And your family. They should pay you enough that you should never have to worry about any of that. Because when you're in the military, your job is extremely dangerous. You could be sent to a foreign country. You could end up getting killed. You could be hurt by your job. Much more than somebody, let's say, flipping hamburgers at McDonald's or Burger King, Taco Bell, Starbucks. That's another one. Come on. These people give their life to go defend yours and mine, since now it's been many, many years since I was in. That was when I was real young. People need to start thinking about things that are important. We should take care of our military. When they get out of the military, whether they serve 4 years, 6 years, 12, 20, or whatever, they should still be taken care of and not having to fight for whatever they need to get from the government. The government should take care of them, because it doesn't matter if you're in for 4 years, and as I said, for the other years, something could happen to you. You don't know. You don't know when you join the military what's going to happen. Yes, some people join the military to get schooling and help with their buying a house, stuff like that. But, there isn't any really thing wrong with that. Remember in the old days when there was kings and queens? I know the queen died, but now there's King Charles. Remember that there were knights. And the knights were taken care of much more better. They were the heads of the army, and they were taken care of because they went out and they fought wars. They put their life on the line for all the people who wouldn't fight, for all the people who were afraid to fight. And there's nothing wrong with being afraid to fight. Being afraid to fight is kind of like a preservative of your well-being. They say that when you get panicked or in danger, there's fight or flight. Some people flight, some people fight. Okay, well, anyhow, let's go beyond that. It's just sad. That kind of made me upset when I saw the thing about the food stamp thing. Never should somebody in the military have to worry about food stamps. That's just totally ridiculous. Okay, well, the first thing I want to talk about is, out in my truck, I have a bag, and in the bag, it's like a little day bag. There's room on each side to hold the bottle. And there is what would you say? There's some lighters, there's some waterproof matches, there's a magnesium bar with a steel on the side of it, there's a medium-sized knife that can be used as a skinning knife or whatever you need to use it for to harvest an animal or do things around your camp. We also have water filters in our bags. We also have collapsible bottles and a bag that goes into the back of the backpack so that can be filled so we have water to carry with us. I think of that as our 3-day bag. Like in the military, you have a 3-day bag, and then you have combat bag, and then you have your big bag that you carry most of your equipment in. So, and we have backpacks for that. So we have our bags. And in the bag, if we had to leave, we could carry food in the one, some food in that one, the little one in the truck. We could fill the water. We also have water purification pills, besides the filter. And there's some, one day I intend to get some life straws and put them in there. That way we have those too if we have to drink directly from a water source and we don't have time to fill it. I guess that's what I got to say about that. So that's a step. You know, like I was saying about the food, and this is my second episode. The first episode I talked about having a pantry and having food and stuff. The next thing you need to do is your pets. If you have a dog or a cat, you should put away food for your dog or cat. I tell my neighbors, without letting them know, that I do prepping. And like I said, I'm really a survivalist prepper. It's more not about prepping to prep, it's prepping to survive. And when I say survivalist prepper, it means I'm going to do what's necessary for me and my partner to live. And if people think that's harsh, that's what life's about. Go out to the woods, watch the animals. Yes, we're more than animals, but I guarantee you that a mother with children, a father with a family, if he sees his children starving to death, he's going to do what he has to feed those children. So I tell people, make sure that you get a few weeks worth of food. You put up some water. Most things that are going to happen, that's all you really need. But you should also have a long term, that's why I say a 90-day, and then you can have some like freeze-dried stuff or long-term stuff like salt and sugar, dried pinto beans, white rice. Those will all keep for a really long time. So, and then of course, you want to find the driest pet food that you can find and put it away. Something your dog really likes. Doesn't matter what it is. You should have something your dog really likes, or your cat, if you have a cat, or whatever kind of animal you have. If you have a guinea pig or gerbil, fish, you got to think about fish. If you have fish, you got to have a water, have an air pump that runs on batteries, and you want to keep maybe about 6 months worth of batteries in the house. You also want to think about your flashlights. Now we have a flashlight that's a lamp and also a flashlight that charges that I bought down at, Harbor Freight. And we've got some little handheld flashlights we use as AA batteries for, or AAA. And then I got a battery pack for jumping the car. And we have candles and candle lanterns. They're up there behind me on the, back there up on that cabinet. It's got the tarp in front of the blanket for the Seahawks, Seattle Seahawks. And that's so if it falls over, the candle is inside. I also have another one over here that you can't see. That's in a red, black one. That's for keeping the candle inside too. And, we also have those solar lights. Like you can see that light over there. As I mentioned last time, that gets charged by a panel that's in the window. I got it hanging in the window. and that light can be turned on. We rarely use it, so it's going to last a very long time before it needs to be replaced. We've been here 4 years, and we've had those for 3 years, and they work perfect. Don't buy the cheap stuff at the Dollar Tree. Our neighbor has some out there, and they don't really even light up anymore much. Make sure you buy good quality lights, and then maybe they'll last for a while. But they're a good idea. You could put them in the ground and then have little blocks that of wood you can put on your table and then stick them in the end of the wood. Put a couple of them in there, turn them on, and they'll light up, and then you'll have light in the house, and you can recharge them the next day. One day I'm hoping to put a spotlight one out here, putting light onto the window of the house and the door, and I'm hoping to put another solar light pointed towards the truck so I can keep eye on it, maybe one out back. So that would be 3. That would probably cost a little bit, but peace of mind that it would give us that we could see who was outside. We keep an eye on things. That would be really good. Plus, it would save a little bit of electricity. We wouldn't have to turn the lights on outside. So that's another thing of prepping. The more things you can get that will function on your own without having to pay money every month to make it work will help you have a few more dollars for food, water, and prepping items that you would need. All right. Now, let's go to the third thing that I want to talk about. Again, we'll go to Putin. Now Putin is saying, he's called up all these people for the military. Russians are trying to get out of Russia. They're trying to run away. I don't blame them because he seems like a megalomaniac. He seems like he wants to start something. He's already started with Ukraine. Is it going to spill into Europe? And then you got China. China wanted to get back its lands, and I understand that Hong Kong and Taiwan and some of the other places, they were all part of China at one time, the Greater Chinese Empire. But back in World War II, when the Japanese invaded them, they couldn't hang on to them. The Japanese took them over. They took over most of the Pacific, most of the South Pacific. They were in Alaska's Aleutian Islands. We have to be real about that. They were a very, very hard fighting force to deal with. We had a choice. Once they attacked us at Pearl Harbor, we had to do something. So we had a choice. We could have continued killing our people in the United States. And why this may sound really bad, our people are more important than their people if they start a war with us. If Russia starts a war with us, again, just like with the Japanese, Russia's people, the government of Russia, I should really say, is less important than us and our government. So, what happened to the Japanese? And they stopped. Now, of course, Russia has nuclear weapons, and Putin keeps threatening to use the nuclear weapons. Excuse me, I'm going to get a drink of coffee. I brew my own coffee. I don't buy coffee because it's cheaper. Believe it or not, we drink a lot of coffee in this house. So, I'm hoping that we do not get into war. Because if we get into a nuclear war, it's going to be bad for everyone in the world. Not just us, not just Russia. And the Chinese, they're going to be affected by it too, even if they don't get involved. The Africans, everyone, every continent. So we have to decide, are we going to step towards doomsday? Or are we not going to step towards doomsday? Instead of spending all of our money on these nuclear bombs, we're supposed to be able to kill them more than so many times. Oh, I'm running out of time. So I'm going to say goodbye. This is episode 2. Maybe I'll do another episode. All right, bye.